What is up, Squared Nation? Welcome back to No Counters, No Combos, and today we're talking some tech. I want to talk about two cards in particular. Our most recent ban list did a number to this game, but the biggest thing that it did was get rid of our two most generic top-end cards in the game. I'm talking about Secret Identity Mass Saiyan and Bardock Fighting Against Fate. Those two cards were no longer allowed to play. So our job as members of the community, as players of this game, is to find similarities to the top end, efficient finishers that we could squeeze in our decks at one or two copies to ensure us that late game push. Okay, so specifically today I want to talk about two cards. Now it's the same character, same attack power, but they both do very, very different things. Today's tech talk is going to be about Mira, Assault from the Skies, and Mira, Creator Absorbed. Now, these cards essentially are your late game cards, your late game finishers. They're both 7-cost battle cards. They both have 30,000 power, respectively. And they both cost 1 energy with an Overwhelm attached to it. Now, Assault from the Skies is an Overwhelm for 7, whereas Creator Absorbed is an Overwhelm for 4. There are benefits to both of these cards. Assault from the Skies having Double Strike is very nice. Creator Absorb having Deflect is also very nice. They also have auxiliary effects that are good. Assault from the Skies allows you to untap an energy at the start of your opponent's turn, and it also allows you to draw a card when you play it. Whereas Mira Creator Absorbed is basically just the biggest battle card in the existence of the Dragon Ball Super card game. It gets an extra 5k power for every card in your warp. So if you've built up enough cards in your drop area and you drop this for game, you're talking about swinging for very, very expensive numbers. Now, some might argue that Assault from the Skies is a better finisher because it has that, permanent double strike on it. You'd have to actually combo a Furthering Destruction Champa or an Hidden Power E Supreme Kai on Creator Absorb to get into the double strike, which is unfortunate there. But Mira does have the benefit of having all that extra combo power that Assault from the Skies does not get. So I kind of wanted to highlight both of these cards because I do think that they are very good replacements for Secret ID and for Fighting Against Fates. Obviously, they do completely different things. Fighting Against Fates was a 25k dual attacker that was essentially free for an Overwhelm for 6. And Secret Identity was more of a pivot card. It was able to come down for 25k attack for free on an Overwhelm 6, but it was also able to clear some of your opponent's battle cards. But it didn't always essentially win you the game if you didn't have a board presence already. It kind of helped you pivot and recover and take control of the future turns of that current game. I could be totally wrong. I never really used Secret ID as a finisher. I used it as more of like a tempo card or a momentum card is a better way to describe it. But Fighting Against Fates definitely was used as a finishing card for most decks. Now, there are other cards you can use. I know Man on a Mission is very popular nowadays. I personally do not like that card. I don't think Man on a Mission offers you as much merit as both of these two Miras. Yes, it is a double striker. Yes, it does have critical. Yes, it is a free Overwhelm, which are all positives. However, it's only a 20k swing. You'd have to combo a lot of high numbers into it to threaten for guaranteed lethal, unless your opponent has no cards, of course. And 9 times out of 10, if your opponent is holding a counterplay, it's going to get hit. Now, Assault from the Sky is in the same boat as Man on a Mission. It does not have deflect, so it can get counterplayed. But Creator Absorb does have deflect. So the only card you really have to worry about as far as free counterplays are concerned is Charismatic Villain. Because it is a 7-cost, Charismatic Villain will get to pop Mira on entry on the ETB on the auto. So you do have to be careful when you're playing against green. But for the most part, Mira is going to be safe against blue, against red, against yellow, against stuff like that. So I think, in my personal opinion, I think Mira Creator Absorbed is a little better because you can safely play it to the board against every deck except for green. And you can swing for a very high number that your opponent is essentially not going to be able to counter out of. So if they don't have a negate, they're kind of screwed. They're going to be taking at least 1 guaranteed damage. If you throw a Champa on it, it's going to be double strike for game. Back in the day, when Battering was a card available to us, Mira Champa Battering was a 3 energy game ender that you could not interact with. There was no way around it. If you had 3 energy open and your opponent had 2 life, you were guaranteed to win the game with Mira Champa Battering. We don't have Battering anymore, but yellow players do have access to Swift Retaliation Cooler. So that's essentially a watered-down version of Battering Laser. It is a counter that does get you 2 cards in most situations, and it does get you an extra 5k combo power on top of it because you get that free body on the board. It is more energy, so you're talking a 5 energy win con as opposed to a 3 energy win con, but yellow does put itself in the position to do that pretty frequently, in my opinion. So that's enough about Creator Absorbed. Obviously, we know that's my personal opinion. I do think that this card is slightly better because you don't have to commit as much into it as far as combo power is concerned. Now, if you don't want to go that route, Assault from the Skies is really good. It's a lot safer to play, in my opinion, even though it doesn't have Deflect. It is a lot safer to play, in my opinion, because for some reason, if you don't win that turn, at least you get to draw a card and also untap an energy for defense on your opponent's turn. I think Creator Absorb is a more all or nothing play. You get nothing out of it except for this huge body on board, whereas Assault from the Skies does give you a little bit of a fallback, and you can threaten for game with a higher life total. And what I mean by that is, if for some reason your opponent has 3 life instead of 2, you could still win the game with Assault from the Skies and a leader swing if you play it out properly and you combo and all this other stuff. Obviously, it all comes down to what scenario you are in the game that you're currently playing, but Mira Creator Absorbed does need that extra card to give it that double strike and swing for lethal. Now, obviously, if you're just bringing down your opponent, naturally to 1 life, then there's a lot that Creator Absorb can do on its own. It's not going to be able to win you the game if there's more than 1 life, but if it's, just 1 last chip damage that you're trying to do, you can definitely go ahead and swing over it for game with Creator Absorbed. These 2 cards are very energy efficient. They only cost 1 energy respectively to play them in late game strategies. Of course, if you're building up a drop area throughout the course of the game, you're going to have access to these guys sooner rather than later. There's a lot of synergy with cards just being put into the drop area as far as combo cards or cards being KO'd on the battlefield, so on and so forth. So my advice would be to try them out and see what you guys prefer. It all does come down to player preference. I really do prefer Creator Absorbed because that infinite combo power to me is just the icing on the cake. I run Champa in all or most of my decks anyway, so I'm going to have it at some point, especially that's a card that you hold on to for the kill shot. And I like having that extra, deflect just in case my opponent wants to try and, force me into an uncomfortable situation. So that's just my opinion. But let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and please hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with everything No Counters, No Combos. We really do appreciate the support, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Be there or be squared.